Alright, boys, so we've got a lot to talk about surrounding the Indianapolis Colts. Let's just start off with the win last week. We'll be very brief. The Colts, they won their first game against the Patriots in their building since 2006. I find it just hilarious how the Colts beat a team they're supposed to and still get hate for it. Yeah, sure, the Patriots aren't the best team in the world. They've only got 3 wins. But to me, that was a huge win for the Colts. It was a playoff level game because if they hadn't won that, their season would have been over. Just like if they don't beat the Broncos, their season is basically over. I mean, the Texans would have to lose every game. The Broncos would have to lose. Even if the Broncos do lose their next 3 games after us, they still actually would have a better record than us because of the tiebreaker. So yeah, this is a must-win game. The Colts, it doesn't matter how they win, they just have to win. And Denver's the only team remaining with a winning record. They're 8-5, they're very good. Tennessee sucks, New York sucks, Jacksonville sucks. The Colts have a chance here to not only make the playoffs, but to win their division. Of course, though, they've got to control what they can. You beat Denver, they go to 8-6, we go to 7-7. If we finish with the same record as them, well, we get the 7th seed due to tiebreaker. And we've got Tennessee, New York, Jacksonville. They've got Los Angeles, and then after that, they've got Cincinnati, both road games, and they're at home against Kansas City. So they've got a brutal schedule. We've got a chance to do something special here. The Colts have a better chance, in my opinion, to make the playoffs right now than they did last season. Because last year, we were dealing with multiple teams competing with us. Now we're only dealing with one team, which is Denver. And well, technically 2 teams because we could still win the division in Houston. We don't have the tiebreaker because they beat us both. But we've got a chance, man. We've got a chance, and that's all you could have asked for if you're a Colts fan like me coming into the season, because Anthony Richardson's health was the most important thing. If he stays healthy, cool. The next most important thing is making the playoffs. Well, the Colts, they have a chance to do both of those, and we're a pretty healthy team. Like the Lions, they had a ton of guys on the injured list last night in their game against the Packers. We're not going to have that. We're definitely injured. We're not the most healthy team in the league. But overall, guys, we're in a great spot, and let's talk about it. So if we beat Denver, we'd have a 52% chance of making the playoffs. We'd also have to rely on them losing again. Just has to be 1, so it's not asking for that much. And then in terms of the division, well, if we win out, we go to 10-7. The Texans right now are 8-5. I don't have their schedule, but their schedule, it's not the hardest, it's not the easiest. So I don't think we're winning the division, but I'm more than happy. I'd be more than happy to finish as the 7th seed. I mean, you guys can tell, I mean, that would be crazy. Just finishing as the 7th seed and still making the playoffs. You're going up against more than likely Buffalo or Kansas City in their building. It's not going to be easy. But just getting Richardson into a playoff game healthy would be the best case scenario, man. I mean, the Super Bowl is great. That's cool, winning a playoff game. But this is, I was going to say year 2. This is really year 1 of Richardson because he got injured last season and missed. He missed, honestly, like 80% of the season? I mean, there was only one game where he started and finished, and that was the Rams game. The Jags game, remember, he almost did, but then, like, the final drive, he had to leave that down in the goal line for Minshew. He came in. And I do want to talk about 2 things specifically. Well, really 3. I do want to talk more about AR. We'll stick with AR, and then we'll go to Alec Pierce in the tight end room. So Richardson, we know at this point that he's still working on his accuracy, but he's doing a lot of things well. His ADOT, which stands for average depth of target, is 13.3 yards, which ranks him 2nd in the NFL. No player also has a higher percentage of big-time throws than the 7.4 posted by Anthony Richardson. In terms of top 10 QBs in combined rushing EPA, Richardson is number 8th behind Kyler Murray. Number 1 is Jalen Hurts. Number 2 is Josh Allen. Number 3, Jaden Daniels. So you can see the top mobile quarterbacks, and well, Lamar Jackson certainly. How is Lamar not on? I have no clue how Lamar's not even on this list, but he's not. But still, I mean, these are some of the best mobile quarterbacks, and Richardson's in the top 10. Now, Brock Purdy's at 9, and Bo Nix is at 10. So I don't know how big of a statistic this really is, but just to see Richardson in a top 10 statistical stat is awesome to me. And in terms of Alec Pierce, I mean, he's doing something actually insane right now. He leads the NFL with 22.2 yards per reception. He already has career highs in receiving yards, 645, and touchdowns with 5. He's done it as well on only 29 receptions. I mean, he has to be doing something historic. The fact that he's got all those yards in his 29 catches and the 5 touchdowns. I mean, I don't know if that's ever happened. You guys can let me know, but that's pretty crazy to think about. In terms of our tight end room, I was thinking about it. I was asking myself, are tight ends not producing because they're just not that good? Or is it because we're not getting them involved? I actually think it's both. I don't think our tight ends are good, but but I also don't think we're getting them involved because our offensive coordinator, Jim Bob Cooter, I honestly forget all the time about our OC because Shane Steichen calls the plays, but he said specifically that, quote, that tight end room is going to be a big part of this, and quote, he's referring to this sort of gauntlet of the schedule that the Colts are entering. Now, normally when I say gauntlet of the schedule, I mean very, very tough in terms of the opponents. But for the Colts, every game's a playoff game. If the Colts lose another game, they're cooked. It's as simple as that. They have to win out. It's not just beating Denver. Oh, we beat Denver, we're good. No, you still have to win out. And let's face it, guys, it's not going to be easy by any means. Beating the Titans, I know we own the Titans. We beat them with, of course, our backup Joe Flacco, but still, it's not going to be easy. The Titans are going to come after us. They just beat the Texans in Houston 2 weeks ago. At New York, and then versus Jacksonville. The reason why I don't think it's going to be easy is because the Colts aren't a perfect football team. They've got a young quarterback. They've got an inconsistent, not even an inconsistent defense, just an inconsistent defensive coordinator. Our offensive line did play well. I'll give them that against the Patriots, but is it going to keep that up? So if we can get healthy, because think about it, like we're missing Ryan Kelly. We're missing Juju Brent. We missed Josh Downs against the Patriots. We're missing a lot of guys, key players. We're not the most banged up team, but we're certainly not in the best spot. We're missing Samson Ebukam, who got injured, in training camp? I mean, he led us in sacks last season. So we're missing a lot of big-time players. If we were fully healthy, honestly, I legitimately think we would honestly be I think we'd be 8-5, if I'm being completely honest, if we were fully healthy, not everyone out there. But also the biggest thing, maybe we wouldn't be, because the reason why I have so much faith in the Colts is because of Anthony Richardson, but he's just a much different person and a much different quarterback ever since the benching. The benching was great for him. I do stand corrected. Joe Flacco was terrible, so I got that right. Not that I said Joe Flacco was terrible, but Joe Flacco played terrible is a better way to put it. So it still really didn't work out, but it worked out in the long run, because in the short term too, because Richardson's playing better. But Richardson now is not taking anything for granted. He's earlier than ever. He's leaving later than ever. And you can tell that he just really appreciates the game of football more. He's always loved football, but now there's just something different about AR. So I am excited about what is to come for the Colts. There's only a 2-game gap between us and Houston. So if we win out, we've got a 35% chance to win the division, which would be our first time since 2014. So you just really can't complain right now with where the Colts are at. We're under 500. We just beat the Patriots. I see the comments every single day hating. That's fine. The Colts are going places. I believe in this team. I just think in the offseason, we do need to get more skill position players. Like A.D. Mitchell was amazing in college. It just has not translated in the NFL. Rookie quarterback. He's a rookie himself, or not. You guys get what I'm saying, right? Richardson's not a rookie, but he's basically still a rookie to me until he gets 17 starts or 16 starts if you want to do the old way. So Mitchell, I think he'll be fine, but he has had some drop issues, if I'm being honest. So we need to get better at the skill positions. Like tight end's a huge room for growth. And then defensive coordinator Gus Bradley, I mean, if he can lock in these next 4 games, I'd be fine keeping him. But if he can't, we need to start having a serious discussion, because Drake May picked us apart. I thought we did well against the Lions. The Jets game was like, we had some good, some bad. It's just, I don't know. I don't think we have like the best personnel in the world, but Gus Bradley, he's just not it, man. He's not it.